All right, we're live. All right. So, what's up, everyone? We are back at the Blockchain Economic Forum. We are now with Dylan and Jason.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
What's happening?
Dude, it's great. Life's great.
Life is great,
Life
for
is
sure.
great.
It is. And you are with Monarch Token.
Monarch Token, yes.
And we are going to be talking about the importance of Monarch Token, what you guys are doing. So, why don't you guys give a rundown of Monarch Token? From what I remember, you were like, it's so much easier to have reoccurring payments come in for people in a way that is unique because you don't own the key, I don't own the key, we own half of the key each, which is completely decentralized, which is exciting. We want to learn more about this, so let's do it. Who wants to kick us off?
Jason,
I'll take it.
you do the heavy hitting, dude.
Sure.
All right.
So what Monarch Token is an all-in-one platform for recurring payments on the blockchain that is for investors and also for consumers and additionally for, most importantly, merchants. So currently there's no real good way to receive blockchain payments, or rather to receive crypto payments if you are a merchant or offer some sort of service. There's a few, but they're just not very good. So in addition,
I can put my key up online and people can take either QR scan or they can enter my key, copy and paste it and pay me that way.
well, by and large, cryptocurrency is a push technology. First of all, I've got to get your wallet address. I've got to send the transaction to you. There's no way for me to request payment, right? So if I have a subscription-based service, there's no way for me to
I think Bitcoin
request.
Cash lets you request.
Interesting.
I think they do.
I would have to look into that. I'm not aware of that so far, but
It
you
would
could be
in a
correct.
centralized manner.
I don't know. What I do know is that Monarch is in a fully decentralized manner. We are using a patented technology called multi-signature wallet leasing. Effectively, I think you were touching on that.
Multi-signature wallet leasing.
Right.
Okay.
So we own half a private key.
This would be you and the
Yes.
and the customer. Yeah.
So effectively, 3 conditions must be met for us to be able to transact on your behalf: the amount, the destination, and the frequency. So we like to use the Netflix example. You want to pay $9.99 every 30 days to Netflix. If those 3 conditions are met, the smart contract executes. All you need to do to stop that transaction from occurring is log into your app and switch it off. It revokes our access because we never hold your private keys. You always retain possession of your private keys. You always retain possession of your funds. There are other solutions that offer a similar outcome, but not in a decentralized manner.
All right. Yes.
Also, another fun, exciting part about Monarch is the CMS plugin. So that being a content management system, 90% of websites online are built on WordPress or Squarespace or Wix and Shopify even as well. A lot of people build their own stores through Shopify. And what we do is we've created a plugin that you can go directly on your website to be able to take these, number one, recurring payments, as well as fiat, as well as the one-time crypto payments as well. So that way we actually enable others to now accept this. But the best part of all is going to be that you can pay in crypto and we will pay the business in fiat. So that way it truly will be a mass adoption tool, because what business doesn't want more money coming in the form of fiat?
Okay, so let's run me through an example then. So I throw up a website that gives people access to certain content or product for $10 a month, and then where is they pay through Monarch Token to me. Because I have a Monarch Token CMS plugin.
Correct.
And then who do you pay in fiat then at that point? Where is that?
We will then pay the business in fiat. We do take a
Okay, so then you, rather than paying me, so if you were buying the $10 per month product from me, then rather than paying me in Monarch Token, you'd pay me in fiat.
Let's actually use the 3 of us to make this a better example. So I'm Netflix, Jason is Monarch, you are the customer. You will send your $10 in Bitcoin to Monarch, and Monarch will therefore pay Netflix in fiat, which makes it a full solution.
Got it. So now, why would a company like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple or any of these other cryptocurrencies, why wouldn't they make a monthly reoccurring ability to pay?
They do not have the patent to do that in a decentralized manner.
So, okay, so you have a patent to for this multi-signature
Multi-signature wallet leasing.
wallet leasing. And fully decentralized because you don't own the private key and I don't own the private key. We each own half of the private key.
But ultimately, you retain possession of the private key.
Yes.
We are only allowed to utilize it on your behalf from the back end as long as you have your subscription set to the active format. To revoke our access to the private key, all you need to do is switch it off inside the app.
Correct.
So effectively, if you want to cancel your subscription, you move out of your house and you were paying your rent with it, you want to shut off the power bill, et cetera, all you do is log into the wallet, revoke our access. We can no longer execute that smart contract.
So then it's all happening via smart contracts. So then it is if let's take the example of me paying Monarch to pay Netflix. So then there's a smart contract between Monarch and Netflix. That's where the smart contract side of things. I pay you, and then the smart contract is here per month, and then at any point the switch is flicked off.
But one thing that I do want to say is for the consumer, it's not like they're going to pay Monarch as an external source. It's embedded in their website. So they really just think that they are sending it directly to Netflix, but there's a back-end process that happens that Monarch receives that crypto payment and then pays fiat. So effectively, all they know is they're sending Bitcoin or whatever token they're supporting. They send the token, they get their service. That's all that matters because that's what's important to them.
So then does the CMS plugin look a little bit like whatever cryptocurrency you want to pay with, you can pay with?
That is in the development roadmap of Monarch.
And then, we did the Netflix example. That's probably really relatable for people. Right now, if you pay with US dollars, are you paying a fee? Do you know, to Netflix?
I'm not sure.
That's a good question. I know
Credit card processing fee.
Yeah, and then if you do credit card processing fee, maybe through the bank there is no credit card processing fee. Maybe the bank, there are of course other things that you pay for with your bank account as well. But by having a bank account, you pay for other things. So now, for example, if I was to pay with cryptocurrency instead, am I not paying more money and it takes more time for it to be verified? It's nice that it's on a immutable decentralized ledger. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But is there really any other purpose right now besides it being on that ledger? If I have to pay more for it, if the transaction takes longer?
That's a good question, actually. So, I mean, ultimately, you've got to understand that there's a little bit of volatility in the price of cryptocurrencies currently anyway. As more market adoption happens, hopefully we see more, or more regulation comes in, we see more stability in the prices of these coins. But ultimately, really what we're just trying to do is we've seen enough people that are operating in the cryptocurrency space that are in a manner, like you said, where they want to have something, they want to be able to accept Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it is as a payment for their service, whether they're holding that as a speculative investment or immediately converting that into fiat. Our main goal was to be able to provide a solution for companies to be able to do that. We can do very little about what the credit card processors are charging. We can do very little about the network fees for Bitcoin or Ethereum, et cetera. We can't do anything about that. What we can do is reduce your transaction fees on our network if you're holding our tokens. Does that answer your question?
Eventually you want to reduce fees to the point where they're...
Well, I can tell you for sure. So say, for instance, if you and I were just sending peer-to-peer between our wallets, there's no transactional fees on that at all. Obviously, the network fee for the currency. But we're not taking a cut of that. We are only taking a piece of the merchant transactions. We're still cheaper than Visa. We're still cheaper than American Express and MasterCard. Again, providing an avenue 2%. To be able to, exactly. You're looking at about 4.9, I think, for Visa, and I think it's 3% roughly for American Express.
I thought
So
it was
either way,
275 for both of them.
you could be correct.
Yeah,
yes.
I think it's
Well, we
275.
still beat it.
Yeah, but the speed doesn't necessarily beat it, nor does only whatever 0.001% of all locations take Monarch right now. So you know what I mean. So
Without a doubt.
everywhere takes Visa right now, almost. So.
But not
Adoption
everywhere
will be-
takes crypto. That is the difference. Not
everywhere takes crypto,
I know many people that would much prefer to pay their rent in crypto because they have much more crypto than fiat in their bank account per se. So, I'm sure there will be a lot of people, again, we will see in the actual adoption of Monarch, but I'm quite confident that there are many people out there that would prefer to pay Netflix and Bitcoin.
Yeah, the adoption of blockchain and decentralization technologies for cryptocurrency and beyond is very exciting. What else are you looking forward to regarding decentralization technologies?
Personally, something that I'm a fan of is setting up these trusted protocols so that we no longer have to, I mean, this is unfortunately a textbook crypto example, but realistically, setting up these protocols, trusting in the math, trusting that electricity will provide the governance for the system to eliminate, we don't need to trust a government agent. We don't need to trust any trusted third party who could then seize control or alter the fundamental function of the way that the system works. So I'm a big fan of that about decentralization, is just the lack of any ability for one bad actor to control it.
Without a doubt, I'm very happy for peer-to-peer transactions, that I can send you Bitcoin not through another organization. Right now, if I want to send you money, even over PayPal, that's a centralized solution that, PayPal can say, peace out, I'm taking your money. But obviously that doesn't happen too often. But removing that fact, I think, is a step in the right direction for society as a whole, as we're social warriors.
And then with the push for decentralization and the power coming back into the hands of people rather than centralized entities, what liberation are you most looking forward to?
I've been the victim of identity theft myself. I am a big fan of the potential to eliminate that altogether. Equifax was hacked. Yeah. So many consumers had their vital information put at risk, compromised, and now will have to go through extra steps for the rest of their life. Trust me, I know, because I'm going through it. So you have to take extra steps for the rest of your life to prevent that, even more so from happening again. So being able to eliminate that possibility altogether, I think, is very strong. As well as, and again, it's a typical crypto answer, but opening financial markets up to people that may not have historically had it. There's probably a lot of great ideas somewhere in Sudan or the middle of the rainforest in Brazil that could be world changing, but no one will ever have, they don't have the access to try to push that forward. So I think changing that is something I'm definitely looking forward to.
Amen, yeah. Both providing financial support to areas of the world for those ideas to come to life, but also identity. We were just at the Blockchain for Social Justice conference this last weekend, and we were learning about kind of like what it would have been like if the technology was out earlier, and how that would have affected Manifest Destiny as people were trying to conquer and push out their borders. Yeah, so that kind of comes in for people's identities, people's land, etc. So yeah, what about you for liberation?
For me, he couldn't have said it better. Eliminating identity theft is truly, massive. But as the AI robots come through and through, and so I'd love to speak about afterwards, I definitely see a crossroads.
Let's get there right now then.
All right.
So as wealth is being concentrated in the hands of so few, and it's being exacerbated by exponential technology, the bottom of the socioeconomic status is very slowly inching its way up while the top's exploding upward. What do we do about wealth inequality?
Blockchain.
We're hoping that these self-governing systems will restore a bit of control back, and cryptocurrency, by and large, is one of the first industries where Main Street came before Wall Street. And I think a lot of the cult of crypto doesn't really have an interest in rebuilding the same system, only just for us. There's a lot of idealism in this space, and I think that's hopefully, if people are as good as their word, that being able to spread out wealth, being able to spread out access to capital in amongst a wider proportion, I think overall that there's no way that can't be good for humanity.
Sorry to steal a mic. I would actually like to disagree. That blockchain will not necessarily help this, although this will be controversial. Sorry, blockchain folks, I love it. I want mass adoption, but
let's hear it.
I feel that the people ultimately do have their choices on how to spend. And a new type of technology will not stop poor spending habits.
That's fair.
So, therefore, I feel like blockchain is not the answer to closing the divide. If anything, the people up top are going to multiply their money even faster by investing through AI robots and being able to trade and, make the gap, therefore, even bigger. So I feel blockchain will not stop that. It will not close the gap, but it can help those at the bottom, especially in third world countries. Remittances. Let's say you grow up in Monaco and you go over to the United States and you are working very hard to send your family money back. Crypto has a very small fee instead of a remittance pay. So there are many uses that will allow people to climb up the social ladder, especially in third world countries. I think that the immediate use case of cryptocurrency will make the biggest social impact in third world countries. Right now, I'm working on a project that allows teaching, certifying, and then employing all on the same platform. They have a contract with the government of Ghana to try and help the social justice. So I love impact investing. I love working on projects that truly will change the world, because you can do well and also do good, which is a personal mantra of mine.
I like how initially you were like, blockchain's the answer. And then when you got the mic back, you were like, blockchain's actually going to exacerbate wealth inequality a little bit, but it's also going to provide some social good.
Answer.
It's a answer, and as any technology, it can be used for good and bad.
Yeah.
It seems as though with the way that you have been talking about social impact, whether it be through identity, through social impact across the world, it seems as though that it's going to be very liberating in that sense. It's going to be very fantastic in that sense. But at the same time, it really does seem like the current cryptocurrency billionaires and the blockchain, investors and everything, there is a good amount of wealth inequality that's going to come from that explosion as well. And I think we're going to see the same thing in 2019 from the quantum computing explosion of technology as well. So it's very interesting how liberating these things are, but also how exacerbating wealth inequality they can be. How about we ask you both about, do you think we're alone in the cosmos?
That's mathematically impossible. The place is way too big. There is no chance that we are the only consciousness. Now, will we other collide? That's also mathematically very difficult in a space this large. So I think it's arrogant to think that we could be the only intelligent life in this cosmos, but whether we will ever actually encounter said extraterrestrials is debatable.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Just take the mic back.
Now, do you think advanced civilizations roam the cosmos?
The potential is there. To what end? I mean, at a certain point, if they are technologically advanced enough, what are they out there for, other than perhaps looking for other intelligent life? But I would imagine a society that is technologically advanced enough to be able to escape and survive in space, because we're not equipped for that, would probably have hopefully less need for being out for conquest or mining the universe, so to speak.
Do you think that consciousness is localized in the human nervous system?
I think the meat sack is a very fantastic antenna that tunes you into the consciousness. I posit to you that we are all facets of the same thing, experiencing itself through another lens.
Mm-hmm.
I have recently heard a theory that there is no past, present, or future. It's just one timeline that we are on, and when you think of the past, you're recalling a memory that is currently happening. When you think about what's going to happen in the future and you're anticipating, it's immediately happening. See, you just flinched. So that flinch you knew was going to happen. Was it reaction? Was it something that happened? It's all in the same plane, and time is planar. Time is not interpretive, as far as I know.
It's the only dimension that we don't manipulate in our current reality. We travel through 3 dimensions. Technically, we travel through 4. Just 3 of them are manipulatable by humans.
You want to know what does get manipulated? The markets in 2018 in cryptocurrency.
Sadly.
Had to, sorry.
Sadly.
It was there. I had to. Low-hanging fruit.
Time is very fascinating. Glad we got there. How should we maximize the potential of children into our world?
I think by embracing what they are best at. I think that you will be fighting an uphill battle if you are not doing what you're best at and what you enjoy most. And I feel like those are often going to be synonymous because people love being successful and it brings natural happiness. So if you're just good at baseball, you may not necessarily just love playing baseball because you love being with your friends. You may just love the satisfaction of hitting that home run because there's no feeling like it if you played baseball. So I think that embracing people towards success will yield happiness, which will yield exponential results.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah, sure.
That's fair. Yeah. Well said. Yeah, we love the idea of being able to provide really strong opportunity for everyone across the planet to be maximized to their fullest potential. Now, what do you guys think is the most beautiful thing in the world?
Being alive. Being alive. Life is fantastic. It's even with its ups and downs. Even at my most depressed, I still was like, you can still have a pretty good day where you're outside and you're like, well, this weather's great. Or being in Bay Area, I've just recently moved to Los Angeles from San Francisco, but I can tell you many a time of just being out for a bike ride and stopping to look at the Marin headlands and being like, this is where I live. I guess life's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Can you ask the question again?
What do you think is the most beautiful thing in the world?
I think ignorance.
What?
Ignorance. Not knowing everything, because I feel like if we knew everything, that would be such an unsettling feeling. And I think it is beautiful that we are unaware of many things.
Interesting position.
I feel like understanding everything would feel very empowering, but yeah.
I would personally beg to differ.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
If you knew that a family member of yours was going to pass away in 2 years from a car accident, how would you feel every day of your life?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a good one. There's something beautiful about tapping into the source code of the universe. Mm-hmm. That's exciting stuff. I like that idea. Do you guys think there's a designer?
Tough to say. It all works awfully well, doesn't it?
It works.
It all works awfully well. Like if you think about what a star actually is, gravity, it's an explosion that has gravity being created at the center so intensely that it pulls the explosion back in, which creates more mass that causes another explosion. That's crazy. But it just is what it is. The fundamental nature of the universe, the way it all works. I can't say there is a designer, but I sure can't say there isn't.
I don't think there's one designer.
How many designers are there?
More than you can count on your hands.
Who are the designers?
We don't know. If we knew, you wouldn't be asking this question.
Maybe we're the designers.
Yeah.
All of us.
We are the designers of this video for sure.
All right, cool. Monarch token, link in bio. Definitely go check it out. Dylan, Jason, thanks for hanging out with us.
For sure.
Coming on
the show. Yeah, thanks for having us.
We really appreciate it.
Again,
Yeah.
on different topics.
Yeah. We got a good education in this what is it again?
Multi-signature wallets.
Multi-signature wallets. And we got a good...
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is power. Knowledge is bliss. I love knowledge.
Yeah.
So again, good stuff. Monarch token, link in bio. Check them out. Also, if you guys had a good time, go and share it with 2 other people. They'll share it with 2 people. Subscribe, comment below, like, share it. Go and create with the content as well. Join us on Patreon. Help support us. Maybe we'll get a Monarch token plugin on the site soon for recurring payments. We need to get that in. I know we need to get that shit rolling. We need to get that shit funded. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Much love.
Thanks, guys.
Much love.
Cool. That was fun.